At 92, Willie Nelson, the legendary country singer and icon, is sharing something deeply personal, a wish for his funeral that has stunned fans around the world. Known for his timeless music, his rebellious spirit, and a life lived unapologetically on his own terms, Willie has always surprised people, whether it's with a new song, an unexpected collaboration, or a candid confession. Now he's revealing the one thing he wants for his final farewell, a wish that reflects his humor, humility, and the free-spirited life he's led for nearly a century. From his iconic career spanning decades to his unforgettable performances on stages across the globe, Willie has become a symbol of resilience, creativity, and the enduring power of music. But beyond the fame, beyond the awards and accolades, there's a personal side that few have seen, a side that shows a man thinking ahead, leaving instructions that are uniquely Willie Nelson. Tonight, we dive into the story of his life, the legacy he leaves behind, and the surprising wish that will mark the end of an era. This is more than a funeral plan. It's a glimpse into the heart and soul of one of country music's greatest legends. Born on April 29, 1933. In Abbott, Texas, Willie Nelson grew up surrounded by the rhythms of country music, gospel hymns, and the hardworking ethos of rural life. From an early age, he displayed an uncanny talent for music, picking up the guitar and learning to play by ear, guided by the sounds around him rather than formal lessons. His childhood was humble, marked by long hours on the family farm, yet music offered him an escape, a passion that would define the trajectory of his life. By his teenage years, Willie was performing at local events, earning modest pay but gaining invaluable experience and confidence. The 1950s saw Willie taking his first serious steps into the music industry. He wrote songs that would later become classics and traveled extensively, performing wherever audiences would listen. His big break came when established artists began recording his songs, recognizing the raw, authentic storytelling in his lyrics. Despite his growing reputation as a songwriter, success as a performer was harder to achieve. Willie faced setbacks, from failed record deals to financial struggles, yet his perseverance never wavered. Each obstacle shaped him, instilling a resilience and a unique approach to life that blended humor, independence, and a refusal to conform to expectations. As his career progressed into the 1960s and 1970s, Willie Nelson became known not only for his music but for his distinctive persona. The long hair, the bandana, the soulful voice, and the outlaw spirit set him apart from other country artists of the time. He embraced collaboration, often crossing genres and performing with legends from rock, jazz, and folk, which expanded his audience and solidified his status as a true musical pioneer. Offstage, Willie cultivated a reputation for authenticity. He lived simply, valued community, and was fiercely loyal to friends and family. By the 1980s, Willie Nelson was more than a musician. He was an icon. Albums like Always on My Mind and tours across the world cemented his place in cultural history. Yet, despite fame and accolades, he remained grounded, often reflecting on life with humor and insight. Fans came to admire not only his talent but his philosophy: live fully, embrace freedom, and never take yourself too seriously. It is this philosophy, shaped by decades of experience, that informs his surprisingly candid reflections today, including the wishes he has for the day he leaves this world behind. Even at 92, Willie Nelson carries the spirit of his youth, playful, wise, and remarkably self-aware. His funeral wish, which seems at first whimsical, is deeply reflective of the life he has led. Independent, unconventional, and full of heart. To understand this wish, one must first understand the journey, the trials, the music, and the humor that have made Willie Nelson not just a legend, but a symbol of living life on one's own terms. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Willie Nelson had become a defining figure in the outlaw country movement, a rebel with a cause that resonated with fans who felt trapped by convention. Albums like Red-Headed Stranger and Stardust showcased not only his exceptional songwriting but also a fearless willingness to break the mold of traditional country music. His smooth, nasal voice and emotive phrasing became instantly recognizable, and his songs often carried stories of love, heartbreak, and human resilience. But beyond the music, it was Willie's personality that drew people in, a combination of wit, humility, and a free-spirited charm that made him relatable and unforgettable. Offstage, Willie's life was equally colorful. He became known for his love of family, his friendships with fellow musicians, and his advocacy for causes he believed in, from farm aid to environmental issues. His humor, often dry and self-deprecating, kept him grounded, even as he performed for sold-out arenas worldwide. Anecdotes abound of his spontaneous jam sessions, late-night storytelling, and generosity toward fans and fellow artists alike. Through it all, he maintained a sense of humility rare in someone of his legendary status. Financial struggles occasionally shadowed his career, particularly in the 1980s when tax issues with the IRS became public. Yet, even in the face of adversity, Willie approached life with resilience and creativity. Stories of him selling assets, performing multiple shows in a single night, and negotiating deals with characteristic charm illustrate a man who refused to be defeated. These experiences, marked by both triumph and hardship, contributed to the perspective he would later share about life legacy. And, ultimately, the one surprising wish he has for his own funeral. Fans and peers often describe Willie Nelson as someone who has always lived on his own terms. He embraces imperfection, values experiences over possessions, and cherishes connections over accolades. His longevity in the music industry is a testament not only to his talent, but to a philosophy of life, centered on authenticity and joy. It is precisely this philosophy that gives weight to the revelation about his funeral, a wish that blends humor, humility, and the enduring spirit that has defined every stage of his life. Even as he reached 92, Willie remains remarkably sharp and reflective. Friends recount how he jokes about aging yet acknowledges mortality with grace and clarity. He has often said that life is a collection of moments, and that one should celebrate them fully while also preparing to leave the world with dignity. This combination of irreverence and wisdom sets the stage for the funeral wish he recently shared, a wish that encapsulates the essence of who Willie Nelson truly is. A man whose life is as unforgettable as his music. In recent interviews, Willie Nelson, now 92, surprised fans with a candid revelation about a wish he has for his funeral, a wish that perfectly reflects his personality and outlook on life. Known for his humor, independence, and love of music, Willie asked for something unconventional. He doesn't want a traditional, somber service. Instead, he envisions a gathering filled with celebration, laughter, and music, an event that honors life rather than mourning death. He wants those who attend to remember joy, to share stories, and, of course, to play music. Because for Willie, life and music have always been inseparable. Fans and fellow musicians reacted with awe and admiration. Social media lit up with posts celebrating Willie's unique approach, praising his ability to confront mortality with humor, authenticity, and grace. Country stars, rock musicians, and lifelong admirers expressed how the wish mirrors the energy and spirit he has carried through decades of performances, collaborations, and public appearances. It's a testament to a man who has lived boldly, who refuses to conform even in the final chapter of his life. This wish also reveals the personal side of Willie Nelson. Beyond the stage persona, it shows a man who values connection over ceremony, laughter over solemnity, and the memories of shared experiences above ritual. It is deeply consistent with the life he has led, a life defined by freedom, kindness, and an unwavering dedication to celebrating what matters most. Friends recount how he has always prioritized music, family, and community. And this wish embodies all of those values in one final act. Even as fans digest the news, the underlying message resonates universally. Mortality does not have to be feared. It can be met with a celebration of the life that came before. Willie's candidness about his funeral plan inspires reflection, not just admiration. His approach encouraged others to consider how they might celebrate their own lives, to embrace joy, to honor relationships, and to leave a legacy that is remembered fondly rather than mourned quietly. Through this revelation, Willie Nelson has once again reminded the world why he is more than a country legend. He is a storyteller, a visionary, and a man unafraid to live life on his own terms. His surprising funeral wish is more than a personal request. It is a reflection of decades of music, laughter, resilience, and a philosophy that values the simple. Profound joys of life. As the news of Willie Nelson's surprising funeral wish spread, fans and fellow musicians reflected on the enduring impact of his life and career. More than just a country music icon, Willie has become a symbol of resilience, creativity, and authenticity. His approach to life, embracing freedom, cherishing relationships, and finding joy in every moment has inspired generations of artists and fans alike. The vision he shared for his funeral is a final reminder that his philosophy extends beyond music: to live fully, to celebrate life,